Have you ever heard the phrase Pyrrhic victory? It means winning at such a high cost. It feels like losing. This idea comes from Pyrrhus of Epirus, a brilliant but restless king who could win battles but never secure lasting peace. Pyrrhus, cousin to Alexander the Great, was admired for his courage and military genius. Even Hannibal called him second only to Alexander. Yet his flaw was never knowing when to stop. He chased glory from Greece to Italy, always seeking the next fight, never consolidating his gains. His story is a timeless lesson. What's the point of victory if it destroys you? Pyrrhus was born into chaos. Alexander the Great's empire had shattered, and powerful generals fought for control. As a baby, Pyrrhus became a fugitive after his father was overthrown. Loyal servants smuggled him to safety. He grew up in exile, learning survival and politics at the court of King Glaucius, who refused to betray him. Later, as a hostage in Egypt, Pyrrhus gained education, allies, and a royal marriage, setting the stage for his return. These early years taught him that fortunes change fast and alliances are everything. With Egyptian support, Pyrrhus finally returned to Epirus, ready to reclaim his throne. His journey from refugee to contender shaped the ambitious king he would become. At 23, Pyrrhus reclaimed Epirus through a clever power-sharing deal, then eliminated his rival to rule alone. He transformed his kingdom, building a new capital, reforming the army, and dreaming bigger than Epirus. Pyrrhus briefly seized the Macedonian throne, but the locals saw him as an outsider and he was soon forced out. This setback taught him that military skill alone wasn't enough. He needed a secure base. Restless, he looked west, where a new opportunity for glory and disaster awaited. Pyrrhus was about to meet his true test, Rome. In 281 BC, Pyrrhus answered a call for help from Tarentum, a Greek city threatened by Rome. He brought 25,000 soldiers and 20 war elephants, ancient tanks the Romans had never faced. At Heraclea, his elephants panicked the Romans, turning the tide and giving Pyrrhus a costly victory. The next year at Asculum he won again, but at a terrible price. His army was devastated. Pyrrhus famously said, "One more such victory and we are lost." He had beaten Rome, but each win drained his strength. The Pyrrhic victory was born, triumph that feels like defeat. Pyrrhus realized that Rome's resilience was unlike anything he'd faced. After his bloody victories, Pyrrhus turned to Sicily, where Greek cities offered him a crown to fight Carthage. He conquered most of the island, but his harsh rule turned allies into enemies. The siege of Lilybaeum failed, and his support crumbled as Sicilians grew to resent him. Disillusioned, Pyrrhus abandoned Sicily, predicting it would become a battleground for Rome and Carthage. His dream of a Western empire collapsed, not from defeat in battle, but from failed leadership. Once again, Pyrrhus left behind chaos instead of a kingdom. Pyrrhus returned to Italy, but Rome had adapted, neutralizing his elephants at Beneventum. With his army depleted and resources gone, he retreated to Epirus, his Western ambitions in ruins. Restless, he plunged back into Greek politics, launching one last reckless campaign in Argos. The city's narrow streets trapped his army. Chaos reigned. In the confusion, an old woman dropped a roof tile on Pyrrhus, ending his life. The great king, who had faced legions and armies, died in a back alley, undone by chance. His final gamble ended not in glory but in obscurity. Pyrrhus's death marked the end of his ambitions. His kingdom faded, and his empire never materialized. Yet his battles changed history. Rome learned, adapted, and grew stronger by defeating him. The term Pyrrhic victory endures, reminding us that not all wins are worth the cost. In life, business, or relationships, a victory that leaves you broken is no victory at all. Pyrrhus was a master of war, but never learned the art of peace. His story warns us. True success is knowing when to stop fighting and start building. Pyrrhus chased glory, but the empire he sought was always one battle too far.